announcing our next
What's
guest.
going on? What's going on?
What's up?
I'll turn my volume up real quick. There we go. There we go.
The Asian Tarzan, Mystical Tay. What's up, everyone? What you up to? I see the banner. Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta figure out. I kind of want to make a banner stand for it. I gotta figure out, and I'm probably gonna order another one of mine because mine's vertical. So I wanted to put them like on each other, but it doesn't look good. So I gotta order another one. But for now, it looks. I mean, it's backwards because the camera's flipped. But
for those of you guys that don't know, hold on one second. Oh, match now. Look at the same one.
Yeah, it just hates that. I hate that it's backwards because the camera's flipped.
Dude, so my other phone that I was gonna use so I can watch the podcast and make my camera, the right way, so all my stuff wasn't. I forgot to charge that one, so I charged my regular phone, made sure that one was charged, but then I forgot to charge this one. So yeah, everything's gonna be backwards in this video too. We'll get it.
You know, what would be a good idea is just for us to make it flipped, like mirror
the banner.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll look dumb for us, but for the viewers, it'll look, the right way.
Sure. It's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
But yeah. So actually, I had a female lay some more eggs a night or two ago.
Nice.
It was like 14 eggs, but only 9 of them were good. Were big and fertile. So we got 9 more eggs, and those were from the Magnum to her name is Stella. So it's a Magnum Stella pairing.
The red.
So that I'm super excited about that one. And then I got 2 other females, 3 other females that they're gonna pop any day. I know it. And my Tegu, my big girl out back, I gotta send you some pictures of her. She's getting big. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining in. You guys are watching the only Bearded Dragon podcast that matters. And the only reason I say that is because I'm pretty sure we're the only Bearded Dragon podcast right now. So if anyone else makes one, it's got to be better than us.
Yeah, for sure.
We kind of made the.
Yeah, I don't think there's a legit.
Bro, yeah. I did some research before I put that saying on the banner. I fucked up with the whole dragon talk. I didn't know Dungeons and Dragons already took that one.
Yeah.
Go fuck me. But so yeah, Chicago Deserts, what's up? Hey, if you guys aren't following Chicago Desert, go show that man some love. He's always like I didn't really follow him before, I'm not gonna lie. I just recently started following maybe a month or 2 ago, but dude puts out a ton of content. He's always pushing out some content. You guys could, pass up on that or not, but I think he puts out some good content. He's consistent. He's always pushing it out. Dragons and Tegus. So if you got one or the other, Hatched at Hillman's.
What's going on?
That they are on. So you guys, episode 18's guest will actually be Hatched at Hillman's.
Definitely.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get them both on at the same time because we know they got a small army of children, and I know how that is. If my kids right now, I already had to yell at them before I started the podcast. They're over here kicking the ball on the freaking garage door. I'm like, dude, it's going to sound like a cannon on the podcast. Dang it. What are you guys doing? Stop that shit. But, so, yeah, Ben and Lauren from Hatched at Hillman's will be our guest, episode 18. Definitely. So that's going to be super exciting. I know that they have some babies hatching right now too. So
yeah, she just posted a bunch of babies that hatched. I think today they were hatching, or yesterday they were hatching.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a lot to show you guys. I'm sure they're gonna want to show that off when they come on. I know Ben has some red tail boas. If you guys like snakes, they got ball pythons and boas too. I could be saying that completely wrong too. I think it's a red tail, but I could be wrong. I probably slaughtered it, and I'm probably absolutely wrong. I'm such a tranny. Thanks. Hey, we appreciate all of our fans because, like, we obviously know we're not that big of people. We actually have day jobs and stuff, so we don't do this for a living. So when someone messages me, even when I do like my morning motivation videos and stuff, and people write me and they're like, hey man, you know, thank you, I really needed that really helped my morning. Like my morning was shit. Trust me, I push that positivity, but that does not mean that every day for me is great either. But it's what you turn your day into. So you could have a terribly bad morning, but if
Appreciate
you
it, bro.
turn that into a productive day, you know, then at the end of the day, no matter what, it was good. So I'm always trying to be super positive, but I don't want everyone to think that like I'm being fake. I want you guys to make the best of your day as much as I do, because I have a ton of shit going on all the time. I'm fucking shit up all the time. You know, I have a regular job too, so
For sure.
I'm not perfect, but I do try to help everybody else, you know, remember that we take it one day at a time. Mondays are always the best day. And, you know, it's not just because it's the beginning of the week that it's the best day, but it's also because our podcast is on Mondays. So, like, pretty much makes it the best day of the week.
That is very true.
Like, I feel like it's Friday already. I enjoy these podcasts so much. It feels like a Friday to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. We always talk during the week, like, hey, you know, what are we going to talk about? You know, what time we're going to get on, who we're going to have on next, like, kind of all this stuff. And like I said, when we first started this, it was just kind of like a spur of the moment, like, yeah, cool. I never really thought it was going to get as big as it's getting. And, you know, it's only growing. And like I said, I mean, stuff like that is one, it's really cool when you don't really put a lot of effort into it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's effort that goes into this, but it's cool when stuff just kind of pops off based off just being genuine about stuff you love. You know what I mean? Not forcing it.
I just want to say what's up to Extreme Dragons, and keep feathering it.
I swear to God. We're all
What's
out
up, guys?
here.
So just to let you guys know, I'm not gonna tell you like any episode or any numbers or but when I said that we had more breeders from Arizona, possibly could be, Extreme Dragons Arizona could be. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. That's stay tuned for that episode because that's so much information. But next guest is gonna be hashtag Hillmans, and the reason I want to bring them on so much is one, they have a huge family like me. It's a family. They do it with their kids like me, so it's all about the family. At the end of the day, and they're great people. They have tons of knowledge, and they're not, they love to share it. They're not greedy. They don't keep it all to themselves. And even when other people are giving out great knowledge, they share that with everybody, and they don't take it and use it as their own. They literally like to share the love. They'll share your post for no reason. If you did something good, they'll probably share it. Have you had kids and dragons on? No.
Nope. That'd
So,
be nice.
Yeah. Remember, guys, I'm not that big. Like in the industry, a lot of these people I message.
I've been doing it like I've been alive.
Most of you guys look at my page and you're probably like, oh man, this guy has almost 7,500 followers, and then you go to like another breeder's page that's really been doing this in the industry for like 10 years, and you're like, you see that they have just as many followers as me. That does not mean that they know who I am or that they even want to come on my podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be honest. And most of them are probably like, man, who the hell is this guy? Never heard of me, nothing. The few people that are big breeders that have been doing it for many years that are coming on are later on in the season. I definitely had to win some people over on how the podcast works, because they were a little iffy on if they wanted to, or if it's gonna be too hard, or if Josh was gonna interrogate them too hard, because he's kind of a mean guy. He likes to ask all the hard questions.
Hey, yeah, we definitely have a hopefully we're working
knockout
on
dragons,
bigger breeders that a lot of you guys do business with. But again, these people are they're up here and we're like way down here, so it's just one of those things where if they feel nice enough to give us some of their time, then, you know, that'd be awesome. Just so that way you guys can see who's behind, you know, those big names like Kids and Dragon. He's a great guy. I talked to him on the phone a couple times, and I bought a bunch of dragons from him, and I would love to have him on. But he's a busy guy, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Some of these guys, they're super busy. They got a big season going on right now. What the hell? You know, I got 70 eggs right now. These people probably have 700 eggs. You know, so there's a lot that they got going on that they're like, how is this gonna help me at the end of the day? And that's how they should be thinking, because it's a business. Like, at the end of the day, how is it going to help them? I'm not sure if it is going to help them. Is it going to help me? Yeah, it's going to help me exponentially, you know, because bringing them on, they have a huge following. Just getting them on the podcast gets us notification. But I want to also help the people that we bring on too, you know, because some of the people that we have bringing on that are really big, all you see is pictures from them, and you don't know who's behind the scenes. You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
So those are going to be like the super exclusive ones that are going to be cool shit that you definitely don't want to miss. But I want to bring you guys closer to the breeders. Some breeders don't want to get closer to you. I don't judge them for that. They're a busy person. Maybe they already have a YouTube channel or something, and they're already spreading their information another way that you can find that my podcast isn't going to reach.
For sure. What's going on, guys? We got a couple questions that just came in. I saved the beardy that wasn't fortunate at Petsmart. They really don't know how to take care of them. Yeah. I also would like to buy from you. Right? Yeah, that's a big issue that Can you hear me now?
I hear you, but like for a second, and then you cut out, and then you cut out.
Is it still doing it?
Don't hear you anymore. I saved the beardy that wasn't fortunate at PetSmart. They really don't know how to take care of them, so I would also like to buy from you. My Sullivan has a personality of gold. Tracy, oh, absolutely. I think Tracy needs to come on. I would pay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not up to me, guys. I did message some people, you know, some controversy isn't always bad. Some controversy is very bad. Cuz I might not even agree with all the breeders that I do bring on.
You're breaking up too.
Cuz we just do things differently. Like I might bring them on to give you guys information, but that doesn't mean I'm going to change anything that I'm doing here necessarily. Some things I might, because I think it's a very good, but some things I may have already tried and it just doesn't work for me. So I'll let them do their thing. I'm not going to fight them on it. But since I don't give that information out, maybe it's useful to you guys and it'll help you guys since it didn't help me. So them bringing them on to share that information is also still, you know, very good. If it ends up helping you in the long run, that's all that this podcast is meant to do, is help everybody get informed.
No, yeah,
I wish you all read them as they are showing up, because after the fact, it's not funny. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, my whole comment is lag, so I'm just getting your messages now.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna say any names. There has been some other people that have been asked to come on that are kind of controversial, but some of them just I don't think even have anything to provide to the podcast at all. Like, no good information. If I want to be the dumbest one on this podcast when I bring a guest on, let me put it that way. I want to be the dumbest one. I don't want to be the smartest one, or there was no point in bringing a guest on. So all my guests probably know more than me. Most likely know more than me, or know about something a lot more than me. That's the big point of bringing guests on, is that they are more knowledgeable than me, because I could share all my information with you guys all the time. Same with Josh. Josh makes videos. He likes to share lots of information.
Yep. No, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people in this industry that do things a lot different. I mean, just look at Jeremiah. Look at me. We do things differently too. It's one of those things where it depends on where you live and where you're from and what you believe is like the right way to do it. There's nothing wrong with it as long as your animals have a nice belly full of food and they have a nice hot spot. I mean, I don't see the all the reason to start drama. Obviously, if you're not caring for animals properly, then I get that. But as long as you're giving your animals what they need, I don't see anything wrong with how people care for things differently.
Yeah, and I'm not one to like start commenting on anyone's page. Believe me, I am not gonna start throwing shade at anyone. Like, hey man, I think your dragon looks unhealthy, or it's overweight, or you're breeding them too much. That has nothing to do with me. That's how they run their facility, or that's how other breeders do things. There's, a million ways to get to the end equation with bearded dragons, and some of them I use, some of them I don't. But that's the whole point. We want to bring a bunch of people on to give a ton of information. We want you guys to be able to find all the information that you've been looking for instead of having to dig through a ton of Google searches. And at the end of the day, you read something from 10 years ago that has changed. Some people need to be called out, though. Everything they are saying right now. Yeah, so I mean, there's some names in the comments. Those are people that that I wasn't personally going to say on podcasts when I repost, because this is going to all go on YouTube. I don't want to throw any negativity out with the podcast, but when I repost this, you guys won't be able to see the comments anyway. So you guys can see everything in the comments. There's a couple people that are, doing some crazy shit in the industry. They want to be the next biggest breeder tomorrow. The only thing I can equate that to is like steroids, right? A lot of people want to be like Arnold, and so they're using a ton of steroids, doing their cycles hella fast, and then they want to get huge tomorrow, when realistically, like, most of the old school bodybuilders were like cycling long cycles in between, and their diets were crazy, and a lot of young kids that are never gonna make it to a stage or anything just start taking a ton of drugs to get big. Well, a lot of people I see in the industry that are young right now, and uneducated young guys that unfortunately have a decent following and a lot of people jump on, are doing things that they shouldn't be and teaching other people the wrong way. Like, most people aren't going to breed their dragons unless they're 18 months. Some people will be like, well, my dragon's 9 months old and it weighs 400 grams because I power fed it. That doesn't mean that its organs and its reproductive system is ready for all of that.
For sure.
And I mean, in the end reality, all they're doing is holding themselves back from producing more. If they waited 9 more months for that female to get huge, she would potentially lay 30 to 40 eggs. And at that small age, you're holding her back to where she's probably only going to produce maybe 22, 25, 28 eggs. You're holding yourself back from the extra amount when you could really be hitting the gold mine.
Yeah. That's what I was saying last week in the last podcast when we had Bobby on. Like, it just goes back to money. Everybody wants to make a quick dollar. Everybody wants, to be the next biggest thing. And trying to break it to you guys, but there's not, don't get me wrong. There's people that live off this, but I don't think I could ever live off this, because I would literally be relying on making a sale of an animal, whether I think it should be sold or not. And that's not something that I agree on. But again, it's all like preference based. I don't know. I just can't see myself living off of what my animals produce or what they don't produce. Because if they don't produce, now they're worth nothing to me. Now I, don't treat them as, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, when I hear people that are
And
breeding full time and what, and
so
what you
like
said?
even these big breeders though that are like me and Josh say, like we have to rely on these animals in the end to produce for us to make a living. Most of these
Yeah.
breeders that have been doing it huge, they have such a large collection that they could probably hit 10 infertile clutches and still have 1,000 babies that year out of 10
Yeah.
infertile clutches. If I have 1 or 2 infertile clutches, I mean, that's probably half my season. I got
That
4
would be
to
my season.
5
My
females
season.
this year that are producing. So if 2 of them gave me infertils, that would be half my clutch. And if that's something
Yeah.
that I was relying on at the end of the year, I would be pretty upset with those females. But that's not something, me and Josh both have jobs, so this is just starting. This could be something potentially that grows into a full-time job, but then that would be when your collection grows enormously and you have the amount, you're producing the amount to where the year before you could probably put all that money away and be good for the next year, just in case you had some type of problems. A bunch of clutches didn't produce, you could still get by. But you hear a lot of breeders, they're broke most of the time. They're paying,
Yeah.
they're borrowing money and in debt until animals do produce. Like even the
Yeah.
biggest guys, Brian Barczyk, you see, all these guys talk about is how their collection was so big that they were broke and they were producing animals to pay their bills.
Yeah.
Uh, we're hobbyists right now. We are not. I don't care what anyone tells you. We are. Um, we are hobbyists. We're just doing this on the side. If I had to move and sell off my whole collection, I still have a job to support myself. Some people don't have that. Some people are living off their whole collection, um, which is great. That's the dream at the end of the day. But I want everyone to understand that it's not going to happen in 3 to 5 years or overnight, unless you have
Yeah.
a giant ass retirement fund that you are investing into it. But if you build up your collection slowly, 5 years potentially you could be producing something huge on your own scale if you kept a lot of dragons back that you were producing for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever see myself getting more than like it being a hobbyist for me. Like I said, I'm with the fire department. I have great benefits. I have a pension coming. You know what I mean? Like I don't. This is something that I get off of work, and this is my like escape. This is what I do when I'm stressed. This is what I do when I'm bored. Like this is something that I generally do whether I'm making money or not. The first few years of owning animals when I was younger, I didn't make a single dollar. I would literally work to feed them pretty much. Like somebody said earlier in the podcast, like literally I was working, making a paycheck just so I can have the animals. You know what I mean? So now it's a little different, but I still, if I don't sell any of the babies that I have on this rack, I would be fine. This is all extra, or it's going to new cages like I just bought. It's going to new lights that I just bought. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of money that goes into it that you guys don't understand. Like, stuff like this, or lights, or locks, or food. Like so there's not a lot of money on my end. Do I make money? Yeah, of course, but a lot of it just gets recycled right back into the program. So.
And yeah, literally. So me and Josh are already talking about apparel. To be honest, if we wanted to bring out shirts for the podcast, we're probably looking at $400 or $500. Now that's an investment that I'm already making. We've already bought stickers. That was a couple $100 in stickers. You see the banners. That's a couple $100 in banners. I've already put a couple $100 into equipment that you guys can't even see,
Yeah.
just to make my bald head not shine. My light was making my head so shiny. There's a lot of little things that we're investing just to be able to make the podcast work that we will get repaid for at the end of the season when we sell dragons. But before I even sell a dragon, I'm probably $4,000 to $5,000 in debt. not debt, but that's how much I invested, I should say. So even to get my investment back at the end of the year, I got to sell quite a few dragons. And we put a lot of money into it, just hoping to get it back at the end of the year. So my wife doesn't yell at me, or Josh's girlfriend doesn't get mad at him, or anything like that. We really just want at the end of the day have, hey, look, we made it back though.
Yeah, it's definitely like for example, I don't have a big collection by any means. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 adults right now. The rest are babies. Like that is a tight collection. 2 of the dragons, they're not even in the program. Like I don't breed them; they're just pets. So, I consider myself a very, very small breeder. If you say, like, I'll show you guys. Literally, this is all I have. You know what I mean? I'm not very big. I have the monitors, the blue tongues and stuff, but then the rest of this is all babies and all holdbacks. So, and they're all dirty, of course. Anybody that breeds, you guys know this is a daily basis stuff.
I mean, Josh is gonna make me show you guys my freaking mess, but yeah, no, look, guys,
Jeremiah, he's a lot bigger than me, but again, this is something that I do.
What did you do in here? Jesus.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Hey, little hack for you guys. So, look, nice and clean. Hey, a little hack for you guys. So, I went to Home Depot when I got the cages. Home Depot, on the side of Home Depot where they sell all the like the turf and like the little flooring and stuff for like decking, they have a scrap bin typically, and you can get a roll for 5, 10, 15 bucks. I got a roll of boat carpet, which is in here. I'll show you guys. I paid $5 for it, for the gray boat carpet. I paid $5 for it, and they did all my cages. So for $5, it's a cheap substrate. If it gets all nasty and dirty, I just throw it away. It's $5. You know what I mean? I'm not losing anything of it, and it looks nice and clean when it's clean.
Bro, these guys are a disaster. Yeah, no, everyone was always like, why don't you put anything in your cage? It's like, oh my gosh. So I put that cardboard paper down. I think it looks all right. I'm not going to get as fancy as Josh is with this carpet or anything. But, yeah, I just want to bring up JK Dragons. Okay, Christy from JK Dragons and John from Extreme Dragons said they want to do a raffle with a dragon. They want to raffle off a dragon to help with some TP expenses. So that means if we did end up doing that, we'd have to do some type of big giveaway of a barrel. Something to think up, I'm gonna have to talk to them how we would arrange that, how to make that work. I'm probably gonna have to do something now because all of you guys freaking saw it on the podcast and we're live. Thanks guys for not DMing me that.
No, but I mean, honestly,
like we're gonna make something cool happen for all of you guys. I feel something big coming.
Yeah, when we first started the podcast, like I said, when we started the podcast, like that was the main thing, is to get everybody in the community together, not against each other. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me or no? Making like the community come together, because like I said, lately the community has been at each other's necks from what I've seen, and I get it. I get people's points; they're valid. But like, I'm the kind of person where I'm just gonna kind of stay in my lane. Whatever I say or do is more than likely not gonna affect or help or fix whatever that person's doing that I don't agree with. So why waste my breath? Why put my brand at risk of getting that bad rep, or get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I see it. I stay in my lane. I do what I can, and my goal with this podcast is to help with everybody else. Like, if we can get people to help, people to donate, people to do raffles, that helps everybody, because now people are going to be that follow me. Hey, who's JK? Hey, who's Extreme? Hey, who's Redzone? And then that's how everybody, most people don't buy dragons from the same exact breeder. They kind of buy from different ones. So I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely see that too. And a lot of people are very, very loyal to specific breeders. I have a few people that have literally been holding out to buy a dragon from like last
Oh, that's
year,
self-made.
and they still message me like, "Hey, when are dragons ready?" You know, keeping up with me, waiting on a specific clutch to hatch. So the community is very, very loyal to specific people, and that's the type of culture that we wanted to bring in with the podcast. Is everybody that is like-minded, even if you're not doing the same stuff, but just like-minded, want to give positive information, be, reachable to people, not think you're so high above people that you have no time for anybody.
Yeah.
That's where the podcast comes in. We want to bring positive information, positive people on here, bring the community together. I'm definitely not trying to bring anybody on here and argue the whole time. That would be stupid. I could do that with my wife or my kids.
Yeah.
I got plenty of hours of that at work today.
For sure.
I definitely don't want to come on here and do that. You know what I mean? So, me and Josh wanted nothing but positive stuff to come out of this podcast. So, anything that does come from this, like giveaways, stuff like that, we honestly never thought we'd be able to do cool shit like that, because we honestly thought it was gonna be like five episodes, and now this is episode 17. We have at least till episode like 28, because I got a ton of guests already lined up, unless they all bail on me because we suck. But we appreciate the support like crazy, and not just from the quote unquote fans, or people that enjoy this, but the breeders that have jumped on with us, because we obviously aren't huge, and we were buying from these people, and now us giving out information and them turning around and coming on our podcast to talk to us. After, maybe a year or two ago, we were buying dragons from them, asking them what a hypo was, or what a translucent was, and what het was, so it's super rewarding personally to be able to write these people a message, and then them turn around and say, "Yes, Jeremiah, like, we would love to get on the podcast. We totally support everything you're doing." That is awesome. Completely speechless.
Sure.
Never thought that would ever happen. Every time it does happen, I message Josh, a little FaceTime. Oh my God, look at little girl. Look what we got on. So the whole experience has been amazing. And that's why I call it the Pogona Experience, because it's different every time. You experience new things, new people, new breeder techniques, new everything. It's a whole different experience every time we bring a guest on, every time we get on. There's always new things going on. We're always constantly learning. So I can't thank you guys enough. I know Josh loves it.
No, yeah, it's like I said, it's really a really cool experience. It's been fun. Like, I don't know what else to describe it in. Like how we were saying earlier, like, I don't mind supporting people that I support and giving them a shout out. I don't ask for a single dollar or anything. Like, the cages that I buy are from Herb. Great company, great product. Somebody asked me earlier where I got them from. I get mine from Herb. He gets his from Dragon Haws. Both are great brands. They're a little bit different in the styles, but they're both PVC enclosures, and it's just, depends on what you're looking for, and depends on your price point. So it's just, or breeders that we shout out for here. Like, there's people that I support that I don't like. A lot of people in the industry will only do something for you if you do it backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like if you do it for them first. Like, and that's not me. Like, anybody that has talked to me through DMs, whether you're don't know anything about bearded dragons or you're the biggest bearded dragon breeder in the world, I'll talk to you the exact same way. Like, nobody should be, above or under each other. Everybody's the same. You know what I mean? Everybody once started off on the bottom. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, like, we're all human. So, like, no one's better than anybody else. And, like the companies that we use, I'm always willing to share, what feeder companies I use. Even if I have had a bad experience with you, I don't give you a bad review. I will tell them about my experience, but I won't say that you were bad unless like something really bad happened. Don't get me wrong. I will tell them if you really suck bad. But for the most part, I've never had to deal with that with a bug company. But I love sharing who I get all my stuff from.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not ashamed of any of it. If I got my dragon from somebody that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh my God, we don't like him. Well, you know, I do. Oh well, you're not me. It was my money. Did I spend your money on it? No. So fuck, keep your comment to yourself if you don't like somebody. You know, keep it in the DM or something. But for the most part, I'm not one to judge you who you bought your dragon from. If you got to buy it from somebody that I don't like because you want a certain genetic,
Yeah,
it is what it is. But we're not gonna push hate. Like I we're not gonna feud. Like I use Dragon Hoss, like he said. He uses herp. Is it herptastic or herpstatic?
I say herb
Because your
static.
box
I don't know.
said herptastic. Okay, well, I think it's
Herb what?
herpstatic.
Plastic?
Whatever. You know,
Yeah, I don't
the
know. I
herp
say herb
cages
static. I don't
or
know.
the Haas cages, herp or Haas. Either way, they're both great cages. And what me and Josh always try to tell you guys is they're better than any cage you can buy from Petco or Walmart or anywhere else that sells enclosures. That's all we try to tell you guys is they're quality made enclosures. So anything that's good on here, we're gonna let you guys know. Even though we said, you know, who to get your lights from when we brought Cool Dragons on to get your UVB lights, there's plenty of other people. That's just someone that we happen to know well and has good deals on them, so that's why we push them. If you notice, me and Josh always tell you to get your lights off of your basking lights off of Amazon. I don't know, after that podcast, I don't know how many people now use those Amazon bulbs, but I literally see them everywhere. And everyone's videos, pictures, like we plugged everybody with that. And do I care? Am I asking for like, you know, a shout out on? No, I don't care that you use those
my
lights.
link.
I fucking love that shit. You watched my podcast and I know it because I know what lights you used before, and now you're using the ones off of Amazon, and that's the shit I love. I love to see it just in the community without being shouted out or, you know, thank you, Redzone Reptiles, for your podcast telling me about this light. Every time you post a picture about the light, I don't want that. I want you to just use the information and love it. Let me see it on your feed, because trust me, I know what we're preaching over here. So when I see 5-6 breeders change up this one thing that we just had a podcast on, I already know where that came from, and that I love that.
No, yeah, and myself, I used to use lights from Home Depot, and then he was like, "Hey man, why don't you use these?" And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, cool." And look, now all my cages have those lights. They legit all have those lights. You can get, what is it, like 15 for $6 or something like that?
Yeah.
They have great basking spots. They keep all these little guys fat and happy.
And when you first see them, you're like, this little micro bulb?
Yeah. That guy's a jerk. But yeah, these lights are really cool. And so far, they've been working great, keeping basking spots.
And they're UVA and UVB, so they work great for that, you know, the getting the UVA while they're basking. So it helps, you know, just extra. We got a few questions here. We'll hit them because there's a ton of questions that we missed. I'm not going to go back. So recently bought a pair of adult beardies.
We figure it out.
And I have had
there's a bunch of
3
questions. So those are the questions. There's a bunch.
All right, which one do you want to answer first?
There's a whole bunch. Just go from the top and then just run down.
You want me to start at the top of all of them?
Yeah. I would just go from the top because there's a bunch.
Yeah, no, it was very active today.
And
shout out to everybody in the chat
so
today. Thank you guys. Looks like I need to buy another Zen habitat. All right. So the only problem with Zen habitats is if you have the ones that have the screen mesh on top, you're losing a ton of heat out of the top. A Zen habitat literally costs you the same amount as a 3x18x18 Dragon Haas if you use the discount code Redzone when you check out. Same price as a Zen habitat, the same size. So honestly, look into getting an PVC or even a melamine if you have a pet store that sells melamine enclosure that does not have a screen top, because you're losing a ton of heat. That you're wasting a bunch of energy. Trust me. You want something enclosed that's front opening or sliding. You don't want screen tops. We already told everybody about this. You want an enclosed enclosure.
For sure. Or just run a tub setup if that's the case. You're just going to save money that way.
Yeah, if you're going to get a Zen habitat, you might as well just get a tote.
Yeah, a tote and a rack. You save so much money.
All right, let's see. Love the content. Keep it up. Thanks. We all work hard to feed our beardies. Ain't that the truth?
Thanks.
Someone is a really big fan of yours. They said they love exotic animals and firefighters. Huge fan. He might want to get a poster of you later. I don't know.
Hey, but those are for an extra fee though. Those aren't free.
Hey, that's the fans only. Okay, Josh will send you the link. My bad. All the same, dope podcast. Enjoyed the last one. Well, I'm glad you tuned into the last one and this one. They're just gonna get better from now on, you guys. Yeah. Honestly. The next one is what you really want to catch, because we have two guests for one. We have Ben and Lauren. I don't know if they'll be on at the same time, but I'm sure they can switch on and off. You know, one go watch the kids. So we'll be able to talk to them both. There'll be a 2-for-1. Oh yeah, everyone talking about you know who. Some people need to get called out though. So. Don't get me wrong, guys. I do want to touch on that real quick. There's a right way and a wrong way to call people out. You don't want to come off like you're attacking someone like an arrogant person. Just show the facts, show the right information, and that's the only thing that'll set you apart from the people that are pushing bullshit is the true information. Someone said they weren't throwing shade at all, just was telling my story. Oh no, we weren't upset about your I'm pretty sure that was the Petco store one.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
And I think someone said, isn't it bad for power feeding your animal? And yes, it is. So the thing with power feeding is, let me explain it this way. If you guys have ever seen a Foster Farms chicken farm where the guys are like walking around and they're kicking the chickens out of the way because the chicken can't move because its bones are smaller than it's growing, that's essentially the same thing you do with your bearded dragon when you feed it too much protein too fast as a baby and just power feed it to get as big as it can at a young age. You want it to grow at a steady rate. You don't want them to ever be super, super fat, especially not as young. Like if you're getting your baby bearded dragon to be humongously swollen all the time, and it's not like, I mean, every once in a while, I'll have one that gets in the water and balloons up, right? And it looks really funny. Yeah. If your dragon looks like that all the time and you're just constantly feeding it, trying to get it bigger, definitely not good. So, yeah, no, not good. Chicago Desert's dropping some more heat and all. Age, and don't wait till they're fully mature. You could be keeping yourself from getting multiple clutches instead. she only produces 1 to 2. I've heard of sometimes 7 to 9 clutches from females.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I mean, that's totally healthy. 7 to 9 clutches that was only bred, you know, at the beginning of the season, and they produce that much.
Yeah, that's just crazy numbers.
My dream is to open a bearded dragon sanctuary. That's gonna be an expensive dream right there.
Yeah, and not because of the dragons, because of the food bill. Like I said, I have a very small collection compared to some people, and I pay few hundreds of dollars weekly on food. And like I said, I don't have a lot of dragons. I have a lot of babies, but not a lot of.
Someone said, how do you guys keep up with the babies? I know it's super tough because they lay a ton of eggs. Well, actually, your babies don't lay a ton of eggs, but I got what you meant.
Yeah, it's that's why when Bobby was here last week saying that he has 170 eggs or something, I am not envious of him at all. I had close to 100 eggs last season that I still have some of them, and that was a lot of work. I mean, I work a full-time job. I come home, so before in the morning I wake up, feed everybody, clean everybody. I go to work. Then in the afternoon, either me or my girlfriend or somebody comes in here, cleans them, feeds them. Like it's constantly like you're on top of them always. And then it's like once you have a good pattern, okay, now we got to separate them. Or oh shit, now we have another clutch attaching. It's just like it's like something that never stops. I feel like so when I hear people that have hundreds of babies, that is a nightmare for me. 80 to 100 is doable for me. Anything more is that's pushing it for me.
Yeah, so I'm at 71 eggs right now, and then the 3 females. So hopefully, we have like 150 to 200. I just want to break 100 this year, and I'll be happy, to be honest.
Yeah, 50 eggs for me is solid.
Yeah, and honestly, so I want to bring up something too when you have babies, and if you can, start them on the insect gelatin diet as soon as possible. Cut that thing up into small, teeny cubes and get them eating that as soon as you can, because one, you can use that as like 80% of your insect, so it'll save you a ton of money in food if you're not breeding your own insects and you only have one bearded dragon. It's not that bad actually if you have one bearded dragon. Me having so many dragons, that has totally come in handy trying to get my hissing roaches and my dubia count up. That insect gelatin diet is huge, and you can also look at Cool Dragons on his website. They got
where we get all of our
good
stuff
choices for insect gelatin diet. So there's multiple brands. It's not just like that's not the brand. There's multiple ones you can use, but it is great to add protein in and everything in your diet, especially when you're breeding a ton of babies.
What other questions do we have?
Not sure if I want to breed. Just like them as pets.
Yeah, definitely. Breeding is not for everybody. It's not even for some breeders.
Someone said, in a customer standpoint, I definitely feel so much more comfortable buying from you since I know it's not an online scam. I love it. So that's a big thing with selling point that will help anybody that comes on the podcast is a lot of people buy from these breeders at expos and stuff. Or if they're not from their state, they have to buy from them online. Well, now it's like you get to meet them at the expo in person and talk to them on the podcast. So you'll get an hour to sit there and talk to them without being interrupted. All you guys have to do is ask questions in the comments, and we'll ask them for you. Big Papa Bear said, can I ask a question? If you dropped it later in the post, we'll definitely... Oh, right here. That was the one that said, all right. So I recently bought a pair of adult beardies from a reputable breeder, and I have had 3 back-to-back infertile clutches. Can I get some advice? Um, so you bred the male and female and they're infertile, or you got the bait, or you got them and the female is just pushing out infertiles without you breeding them. Let me know exactly what you mean, and we'll try to answer that for you. And then
There
someone
could
said,
be.
"Yo, Fearless, I'll be in Kissimmee 5'7". Want to go and pick up a female beardy from you."
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I answered it back. If you're still on here, shoot me a DM and we can figure it out. I should be available in the late afternoon, but we just have to play it by ear. But definitely.
Y'all ever had a dragon that doesn't want to eat? If so, what do you guys do? Uh, Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't personally had a dragon that doesn't eat, but I can tell you that most of the time someone doesn't have a dragon that's eating, it's a temperature problem.
Or it's a parasite issue.
So yeah, it's either sick on the inside or your temps just aren't up to par and it's really not that hungry. And
Or
really,
there is.
Fearless wrote that in the freaking comments. Thanks, bro. If I'd have just scrolled down a little bit, I saw you freaking answered it. Elite beardies, it will help breed feeders, but
Yeah, man.
it takes a while to produce and more money. What are they talking about? I don't know. Yes, I breed my own feeders, but not a ton. It's freaking hard. Breeding feeders and taking care of them is just as time consuming as breeding your bearded dragons, if not more time consuming.
And if you guys are in this for the money, don't breed reptiles. Breed bugs. I'm telling you right now. Take my advice.
If you want money, definitely breed the bugs. Definitely breed the bugs.
Like if somebody were to say, "Hey, you have $10,000 to start an animal business," what would you do? I would breed bugs or rats, 100%.
And if you guys want to know about the light that we're talking about on Amazon, hit us up in the DM because we'll send you the link. We have a whole podcast on it. Like, I won't get into that too much. That watermelon Red Bull, you already know, bro. Watermelon Red Bull is my favorite. If you guys don't know, Red Bull's literally my favorite. I've been drinking it since I don't know, 2001 maybe, whenever it came out.
Your male might be infertile. I mean, like he may not have swimmers. I have a male like that. I bred him with 3 females. They all laid infertiles. Just sometimes males go dry.
Or your female is too old and she's just not
ovulating. Yeah, that's true.
Because you don't even if a female all right. So one thing we talked about with young dragons not putting a male around a female is because you can potentially cause her to produce infertile eggs just by being around a male. She'll create eggs without, obviously they're going to be infertile because they didn't mate. So if you don't see the actual pairing and you're just putting them together and then she's producing eggs, make sure that you're seeing the locks, because just having them in the same cage can cause the female to produce infertile eggs.
Yeah, there could be a bunch of reasons. I mean, kind of hard to know.
And I've gotten 3 clutches were infertiles, but with the seller, they have produced healthy babies. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Each of their 4x2x2. Whew. All right, you got a lot of questions. Maybe hit us up, one of us up in the DM, and we'll get more in depth in that. We got a few more minutes to hit questions, but yeah, I see Elite Beardies. I got what you were doing. For sure, hit us up in the DMs about that. Maybe, I'm not sure, figure out age, how you're pairing them. There's all types of stuff we could talk about.
Yeah, we could talk days about that.
Yes, definitely drop some questions in the DM. If anybody has more questions, I see Big Papa Bear down there. Definitely hit us up in the DM. Sticker swaps, definitely. Hit us up for sticker swaps if you're ever trying to get your stickers.
Yes,
I
sir.
do have a whiteboard. Here, I'll actually show real quick. So I used to have it as my
I wish
background.
we had Joe Rogan on the podcast. That would be awesome. I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan.
All right. Oh, yeah. Joe Rogan ain't coming on no podcast, bro.
I watch all his podcasts every day faithfully.
All right, Larry, so, I got to fear this right. Ow, damn. You like this big-ass step I made, bro? Look.
Jesus.
So I could see the top cages.
Why don't you just get a little ladder? I have a little ladder that I use. Well, you should have just got, a little ladder.
Bro, first of all, does your little ladder have a radio that slides under it?
It does not, but I can make one.
Dang. Yeah, I bet the ladder doesn't do that. And
With all the bleachers.
Does your ladder have grip tape on it? Look at that.
Oh, damn.
yeah.
You can sell dragons. You can sell those steps for people's cages.
Bro, did you see this guy? He looks so ugly right now with that shit.
He's a handsome boy, though.
Look at that belly. Oh, you got poo-poo on you, bro. Yeah, so look, this is my girl that just laid eggs. I gotta freaking vacuum out her cage now.
All the sand, I hate that.
Yeah, but this girl, she's about to drop another load too. I see it right there. Right. Oh, snatch. She about to fuck me up. My bad. But, yeah, like I was saying, still send me your guys' stickers. I got my $100 Goku dollar. Got Extreme Dragons, Mutation Creation. I sent them some stickers. Super sick to get, Hatching Your Passion stickers back from them. That was sick. Ball Pythons. The 4 Horsemen. Where is it? Right here. Small Town Exotics. Ball Pythons.
Nice.
Oh, the sexy leg. Bro, I think this is the funniest sticker I got.
It is.
Cool dragons and the sexy leg. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It cracks me up.
I have all the same stickers on my incubator.
My sticker farmer zombie banana. Bro, but do you have this one right here? Like, this is the sickest one. Right
I do have that one. I have multiple ones of those, actually.
Oh, Christy, I definitely need yours because it needs to go like somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Like right here.
Definitely.
These are going to be all the guests that are going to be on the podcast.
We could put you right by Hatch as the Hillmans if you want to make it happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely going to need that sticker. Jersey Shore Dragons. You got the Snooky Dragon, bro, and the JWoww.
I'm dead.
Fucking funny with that. All right, guys. Well, it's 7:01. Thank you guys for all tuning in to the only Bearded Dragon podcast that matters. We appreciate all your guys' support. Remember, next week's guest will be hatched at Hillman's. So we will have Ben and Lauren on 2, 4, 1. Okay, guys?
Appreciate it, guys. See you guys on Monday.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.